with Classy Tacos. Hope you're doing good out there. If it's your first time here, don't forget to like and subscribe. So what are we doing today? We're going to install the new Expedition Essential 3T pan. I know, right? 3T pan. It's a powered accessory mount for all of your phones and all your gadgets. And you might be asking, well, why are we doing that? Well, this is kind of what I was using before. It worked out fine. It worked out well to hold my phone. My problem is, as many of you know, I drive around a lot, and I guess like the way that Toyota set up their front windshield and their dashboard, like the windshield comes way past the dashboard, so my phone was always kind of sitting on here in the heat, and occasionally it would just get too hot and shut off on me, and I can't have that. Especially sometimes I gotta get into some odd places, so I kind of need this working. So what do you get in the box? You get, this is kind of your front mount. This is a piece that goes on the top. Let me get it out of the bag first. This is a piece that kind of goes on the top of the console and screws in. And I also kind of went with the wiring plate for the back. It's like a wiring cover. This is extra. You gotta add this on, but it goes onto the back of the unit to kind of cover all of the wiring back here, so it just makes for a much cleaner install. And this is the mount. Got a small box like this, just kind of full of goodies. This is the newer model, so this is a flush mount USB. If you look at some of the older models, it's like a box, a USB box sits right here. I kind of like this one way better. So it flush mounts just like this. It should look just looks a lot cleaner in the truck. I actually haven't seen any of these installed yet, so this is gonna be a new one for me. So you get a bag with your wiring clips and your screws. Pretty awesome sticker. And you get all of your mounting hardware. This is the basis, the foundation of where to mount all of your stuff to. Now you get at, well, what are you gonna put your phone onto? So for that, I went with RAM products. So we're gonna go with a RAM 1-inch ball. These are actually, they seem pretty well made and they're rated for weight. And then I got this extension so that it kind of keeps it out of the sun. And I will say, I think this is the 4-inch extension. And guys, if you buy one of these, be ready, because I didn't realize right away, but there's a spring in here and it'll get you. And then I went with this kind of a RAM mount. This company's been around for a while. They seem to do well in the outdoor sports industry. So we're going to give them a shot. And I'll keep my phone out of the heat and on and working. I'll make sure to have all of the links for the products down below. Let's go take a walk. Now that we're inside the vehicle, we're gonna take this piece right here, part that goes on top of the center console. You look, kind of take a good look. You see how it kind of slides and follows that groove, just to make sure you put that in. Our countersunk here, you want to get them in the center and just get your little points in right there in the center. Perfect. And the beveled holes, you're going to do your best to get it as in the center as possible. So I'll give you the mark. If you look, you can see where the marks are. Now it's important that when you line this up on top of the console, you understand that it can only go one way, so it can't go any other way. Awesome. Once you get that done, those are marked, you're going to just get it out of the way. We're going to pull the center console off just like that, nice and easy. It should come right off. We're just going to get it out of the way for now. I'm going to remove these 4 bolts because that's where you're going to have to mount into. They are a 10mm. Now that all 4 bolts are off and loose, it's just kind of sitting there. And we're just gonna pop this console off. Once we get that console popped off, we're gonna reach back in here and find the cigarette lighter. Let's see if we can get this kind of popped off. All right, we got it. It is a little tight back in here. Now that we have everything off and open, our next step is gonna be, we're gonna try to pop this USB plug out just like this. So we got a little bit of room there. And then we're going to take the cigarette lighter power switch and try to run that through here. See if it might give us, so it gives us a little bit of room to try to get our wire taps in. So also important, before you do anything and start tapping any wires, make sure to run this wire through where it needs to go. So we're going to put it in through the back here, wire it right here, so that when we tap, it's already tucked into the back, and then we can just run it behind everything. Do not try to tap this sitting on the outside of this console. Perfect. So the red wire, this red wire needs to go onto this purple wire, and then the black goes onto this white and black wire. So red to purple. Get your red wire into the clip all the way. It fits. There's one spot that doesn't go all the way through. That's where you want to stick your wire into, just like that. Find the purple wire, and you're gonna slide this right onto the purple wire, just like that. Make sure that wire is still in there nice and tight. Red wire is in. You got the purple to the red is in, and you're gonna want to go ahead and just pinch that shut. Pinch it nice and tight, just like that, and then we're going to just close the tap. Perfect. So we're going to do the same thing now with the black wire. Yeah, you can test right there. You can see that blue light. You can definitely tell that it is on and working. All right, perfect. So we're going to nicely just kind of get this back through here. Back. I'm just trying to make sure we're not pulling out any wires or doing anything that doesn't need to happen. And again, still looking. I see the blue there, so we're on. And we're just going to plug this back in. So this needs to get plugged in just like this. This is the direction how it goes back. It's easy sometimes to find that bottom one. And at this point, that is in. Plug this back in. USB port is in and done. We have maintained power throughout right in there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to slowly pop this out a little bit and bring my wiring harness up through here and up to the top. Let's get all this out of the way, so we definitely have some room to play. We're going to plug everything back in. We have all of our electrical installed. Our consoles are all back in place. We're going to go ahead and put in our lower bolts on the radio. So we're going to put in our left and right hand brackets. This is your left bracket, so it's going to sit. Left bracket, again, don't go ham just yet. And this is going to be your right bracket. And just like that, they are loosely in. At this point, wiring is done. Upper brackets are installed. A little loose, as you can tell, not too tight. That is your left side bracket. And this is your right side bracket. Everything is plugged back in. We know we're wired. Our wiring is running the right way. We're gonna go work on the center console. So we're gonna go over to the bench and start drilling our holes. On the bench, just gonna go ahead and make sure that our marks seem right. We're gonna take a good look. And I wanna look and just make sure that my marks are in. I see them well. Mark this little notch right here because that is getting removed. Notch right there. test fit countersunk to fit this countersunk, flathead screws. Drop that in there using the second and the fourth hole. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fourth holes, we're gonna drop that in. Boom, just like that. You throw in your washer and your locking nut. Phillips head screwdriver, use a smaller one. You're gonna have to hold that locking nut. After it gets to a certain point, it is gonna kind of fight you once it hits that nylon. That nut is an 1132. This one's a bit tricky down here because it does come in close proximity to this clip here. So I'm just gonna grab the needle nose, grab it nice and tight. Open up that notch a little bit more. Now is the time. Do your best to make it match. I like that better. It is time to test fit these pieces. What that notch is for is your wiring. Just like that, and like that. That looks good. Everything here looks good. It's important to make sure that the holes do line up here and here because it's just going to make things a little bit easier for you during the final install. So once that looks good, feel comfy which where they're at, we can pop them off. I'm going to do my best to hold this in place and make it a little tighter. Get that bottom one tighter, hold this guy in place, get that nice and tight, get that bottom one tighter. Is going to be your middle mount, they're calling it, and we're going to install that in the third hole. So just same concept, washer and locking nut. We just finished installing the middle piece. So we're back in here. You want to make sure that this wire gets routed in that notch that you created. So alright, I'm in the notch. Nice. We're in, everything fit in. This feels nice and tight. This is sitting here in a good spot. Once the bezel is in, we're gonna install our left and right pieces. So this is one on your left, it's gonna go here, and this one is going to go on the right, kind of in this fashion right here. So we're gonna remove these bolts because this is what we're going to use to install the main body. When they're tight and ready, you're gonna want to install this piece before we do anything else. Once that is in, go ahead, get these screws in. So right here, we're pretty much done with the kit install. I also purchased the wiring cover for the back, so it kind of covers all of this back here, makes for a cleaner install. I don't like this right here. All that back there is pretty much wide open, and you see it every time you walk up to the truck, so that would pretty much drive me crazy. So this piece comes with the kit. You're going to just find your holes right here. That install is done. I do like the new flush mount. I think that looks nice and clean. But it's in and it's done. We're we're gonna get our RAM mount in. We're gonna put it right in this location right here for our phone. That mount is in and done. Kind of get to adjust this and play with it, move it up and down, get it where you want it to go. Just like that, it's done. I do enjoy that it's not in the way of the AC, so that works out good for me. Just added 2 more USBs in a better spot for your phone. There she is, how much she sticks out. Installed, loving the new flush mount, and I am super happy with that.